Welcome to the third chapter of Module 1. In this chapter, you will explore the resources, activities, and outputs that make up the essence of the program you intend to implement. These logic model components help to describe a program that will address the problem defined in the problem statement, discussed in Chapter 2. The resources, activities, and outputs for a logic model are outlined here in gold dashes. This part of the logic model describes the program by answering the questions, what is the program, and how does it work? The resource definitions of logic model components, available on the resources page of the website, provides complete definitions of resources, activities, and outputs. Resources are all the available means to address the problem, including investments, materials, and personnel. They can include human resources, monetary resources, facilities, expertise, curricula and materials, time, and any other contributions to implementing the program. Resources are needed to accomplish the activities of the program, and each resource is directly related to at least one activity in the logic model. Introduced in Chapter 1, AMMP is a fictitious after-school middle grades math program used as an example throughout the toolkit. The AMMP evaluation team decides that the following resources are needed to accomplish the goals of the program. The resources for AMMP are in the first column and are shaded in gold. Grant funding, school facilities, office space, gym, classrooms, outdoor space. School transportation, volunteer tutors, school staff, teacher-designed math extension activities, partnerships with the local recreation center and businesses. These resources are needed to accomplish the AMMP activities. The complete logic model for this program, titled AMMP Logic Model, is available on the resources page of the website. Activities are the actions taken to implement the program or address the problem. They may include, for example, professional development sessions, after-school programs, policy or procedure changes, use of a curriculum or teaching practice, mentoring or coaching, development of new materials or other activities. The resources in the logic model are used to accomplish the activities. When drafting the activities for your logic model, think about how you might use your resources to accomplish the activities. Remember that drafting a logic model is an iterative process. You may need to return to your logic model to add more resources in order to accomplish the activities to implement your program. The AMMP evaluation team lists activities that are an important part of the program because they are designed to increase student engagement. The AMMP activities are in the second column, shaded in gold, and consist of the following: training of volunteer tutors, tutoring or homework help, outreach activities such as newsletters, math extension activities such as math games and experiments, recreational activities, field trips such as community-sponsored activities. Remember that each of these activities is connected to at least one resource. For example, the AMMP evaluation team thinks that if grant funding and school transportation are available as resources, then field trips can happen. If there are partnerships with the local recreation center and businesses, then there can be recreational activities and field trips. Outputs are the tangible results of program implementation. In other words, the outputs provide information about the activities in your logic model. Outputs can include required deliverables, the number of activities, newly developed materials, new policies or procedures, observations of the program in use, the numbers of students or teachers involved, and other data that provide evidence of the implementation of activities in the program. What you hope to achieve by implementing the program will be covered in the outcomes of the logic model, which are introduced in Chapter 4. The outputs for AMMP are in the third column, shaded in gold. They include the following: student attendance in AMMP, hours of provided tutoring, tutor attendance in training, tutoring records, lesson plans, schedules of math extension, recreational activities, and field trips, meeting minutes. Outputs provide evidence of the degree to which AMMP activities were implemented. For example, outputs such as student attendance in AMMP and schedules for the math extension, recreational activities, and field trips provide evidence of the implementation of those activities. Similarly, tutor attendance in training provides evidence of the half-day training of tutors. Finally, newsletters provide evidence of outreach activities. If the AMMP evaluation team wants to compare students who have participated in AMMP with students who have not, the team might also consider what outputs could be collected for students who have not participated. Later modules in this toolkit will cover data quality and evaluation designs, which will prompt you to consider what data you could collect and from whom for comparisons. This consideration will be particularly important as you describe the experiences of participants, such as students participating in AMMP and comparison students who do not have access to AMMP. Have your comparison students had access to other resources or interventions that might alter your results? Are comparison schools or classrooms similar to those in the intervention condition in terms of school, teacher, and student characteristics? Describing the comparison condition is an important part of the evaluation process. In the example in this toolkit, the AMMP evaluation team has described the comparison students as those students who have received no additional interventions or resources outside of their normal conditions. The normal condition is often referred to as business as usual practices. You have now completed Chapter 3. In the next chapter, you will examine the outcomes of a program, the results you expect from using the resources to implement the activities of the program.